At the Battle of Lincoln, Matilda decisively beaten Stephen's forces using brilliant strategy and captured him himself. Now it would take a miracle to save the city of London. The names Matilda of Boulogne and William of Ypres would be that miracle. Welcome to the Battle of Winchester. After the battle, William of Ypres rode south to London and joined the remaining generals of the remnants of the Blois. Generals of that cause included Stephen's wife Matilda, William of York, who survived the battle with him, and Stephen's brother Theobald, who'd come over from Normandy, and Henry, Bishop of Winchester, who was also Stephen's brother, and whom lost his bishopry when Matilda captured Winchester. Meanwhile, on Matilda's side, were Matilda herself, Robert of Gloucester, who was leading the forces at Lincoln, Baldwin de Rivers, who had fought at Lincoln, and was currently Matilda's new Duke of Cornwall, and Godfrey, Duke of Anjou, Matilda's current wife after the King of Germany, her previous husband. In early June, Matilda marched south and joined Robert in Southampton. Meanwhile, Godfrey of Anjou, who had been stationed at Lincoln after the Battle of Lincoln, had been marching south and had taken Norwich in late May. But William of Ypres, who was stationed at Dover in Kent, managed to march his army north in a quick speed and defeated Godfrey at the Battle of Norwich, taking the city back. Godfrey now found himself in the middle of enemy territory. Godfrey now marched back at quick speed back to Lincoln. Meanwhile, Theobald, Duke of Normandy, Henry of Winchester, and Matilda of Boulogne now besieged Winchester, where Empress Matilda and Robert of Gloucester now found themselves in.
We don't have exact numbers for the Battle of Winchester, but we can get through numbers at the Battle of Lincoln and the garrison of Winchester at the time that encountered 10,000 men, while the Blois had 15,000, of which many would have been volunteers or veterans of the Battle of Lincoln. Matilda, that's the Empress, had Roger of Gloucester and King David III of Scotland had been defeated at Standard as commanders, but she also had Stephen imprisoned, which would have moraled the soldiers of the Blois.
The battle began with Matilda charging King David's sectored wall. This made Matilda bring reinforcements to the area as King David started to retreat, starting a massive battle in that part of the field. The battle was fierce as Matilda had the upper hand on the right and started pushing back against Queen Matilda's army. On the right flank, it was the opposite way round, as Matilda was winning and routing Bruce's army. The situation on the left continued to favour Queen Matilda, and now on the right flank, Matilda's army began to push back, while in the centre, reinforcements from Matilda's army was filtering in, and that helped her push against the centre. With cracks beginning to form, Queen Matilda sent a breakthrough and released King Stephen, most likely decisively winning the battle for Matilda, as she knew she could retreat now, but decided to take the initiative.
Language Matilda realised that if she wanted to get out of the battle alive, she needed to retreat, so she ordered some of her troops to hold the north gate while she retreated. That job was left to 1,000, who held the north gate, led by Robert of Gloucester. Robert now realised that with the rest of the troops gone, he couldn't get out, and with Stephen and his men surrounding him, he surrendered with the other 1,000 troops. With Robert captured and Stephen free, the Battle of Lincoln and Winchester cut each other out in essential terms, but caused carnage in the war. And our next battle in the series will be a few years on from the Battle of Winchester, but will be the climax of the series. Join us for the next episode of The Anarchy.